desirable are you as a man? Have you ever stopped to think about it? Well, today we're going to answer the question, and I think a lot of you are actually going to be pleasantly surprised to find out that you are actually a lot more desirable than you even realize. Because the truth is, a lot of us think about desirability in terms of physical appearance. We think, oh, we got to be 6'2". If we're not super tall, we're not desirable. Or if we don't have an amazing beard, we're not desirable. If we don't have six-pack abs, we're not desirable. Now, the truth is, physical appearance is part of the equation, and I'm gonna go over some of the most desirable physical traits that you can possibly possess. But there are also a lot of intangibles, the things that people can't see, can't touch, can't actually see when they visibly look at you, that actually make you super desirable. If you're ready, gentlemen, to find out, why don't you drop me one of these. All right, so first things first, let's talk about some physical characteristics of highly desirable men, all right? So number one, we're just gonna talk about height. And this one is something that everybody knows. If you're a tall dude, you are viewed as more desirable than a shorty like me, all right? Just throwing it out there. Doesn't mean that if you're short, it's not sexy or you can't be attractive, but tall men are viewed as more desirable. Number two, deep voice. You see what I did there? I can't even fake it well. Anyway, deep voices are viewed as attractive, all right? Manly bone structure. If you've got larger wrists, if you've got a physically strong looking bone structure or appearance, this is viewed as super desirable in terms of reproduction. And a lot of these things in terms of what makes a man like physically desirable has to do with biology, right? Back in the day when we were like super sexy cave creatures, right? What would happen? The stronger dude, the dude that could go and get the most gazelles would get the most spicy senorita cave creatures. But nowadays, it's a little bit different. Because we can actually go to the store, we don't need to go hunt wild beasts, but it still doesn't take away the fact that a strong physical presence is viewed as attractive, all right? But we're gonna talk about, like I said, some things after the physical appearance that actually overcome a lot of your shortfalls or shortcomings or perceived negative or weak characteristics to make you actually super desirable, all right? Next thing we got to talk about is your body, all right? If you've got wide shoulders, a small waist, a nice drop, you're an upside down triangle in terms of your physique, this is viewed as more desirable. If you've got strong arms, desirable. If you've got a wide chest, broad shoulders, super sexy. If you've got nice glutes, jaw, if you've got a strong one, sexy. If you've got nice eyes, and you know what nice eyes are, those penetrating eyes, not ones with like whack birthmarks, you're sexy, extra desirable. If you've got a nice beard, right, beards are sexy. If you've got a good head of hair, now we're talking, right? You are viewed as more desirable than somebody that actually is losing their hair. Just throwing it out there, being honest with you. Also, hands, feet. If you've got bigger feet, if you've got bigger hands, you are viewed as more attractive than somebody that's got super small feet or super small hands. Once again, it goes back to biology. All right, now, genitals. If you've got a big wiener, big package, just throwing it out there, you are viewed as more desirable than the dude that has a little wiener. Don't look at me like that. This is the stuff that your dad isn't gonna tell you, but your boy Alpha, he will, all right? Your smile, if you've got nice teeth, ooh, baby, come on. Yeah, exactly. Now we're talking, and let's talk about noses. All right, now this one is weird, but larger noses are actually viewed as more masculine than small little noses on a dude. And so if you've got like kind of prominent features, once again, this is viewed as more desirable and more attractive than dudes that have like small, like perfect proportions. But when it comes to attraction, in terms of facial features, if you are and have a proportionate face, symmetry, if you've got good facial symmetry, this is something that is subconsciously viewed as more desirable and more physically appealing than somebody's face that's like a little bit out of whack. My face is all fucked up, so I'm in trouble. Actually, I'm not in trouble because some of the other things we're gonna talk about now. Grooming. Being well groomed is super desirable. If you're somebody that pays attention to the things that you need to pay attention to, like your hairstyle, your facial hair, your skin, if you've got nice skin, this is also viewed as super desirable. If you smell amazing, all right? If you're rocking something like Rebel, also super desirable. One of the simplest things you can do to basically boost your desirability is to smell amazing, all right? Even if you're not like super chiseled or you're not super tall, if you smell amazing, you are automatically viewed as more attractive and more desirable, all right? If you wanna smell like me, you gotta check out Rebel. I'm gonna link to it down below. It is inspired by Creed Aventus, but instead of $450 a bottle, this bad boy is under 50, and with that discount code, it gets even more affordable. Guys, if you're somebody that likes compliments, if you want to smell amazing, this stuff is incredible, all right? The link is going to be down below. Here's the deal. Some other things that you can do in order to boost your attraction and desirability in terms of grooming. All right, manscaping. Trim the monster man bush, gentlemen, because no self-respecting spicy senorita wants to go downtown to visit Big Al and have to like wade through like a jungle in order to get to him. No, make it easy for her, gentlemen. Also, make it smell good, because when you actually have a big bush, not only is Big Al gonna look smaller, because like literally if you've got a lot of hair, your wiener looks smaller, it also is going to trap odor. Gentlemen, something else you need to do is powder your balls. I talk about it all the time. If you want to instantly improve your desirability as a dude, have fresh balls, because most dudes have balls that stink. Bottom line. Be well groomed and you are going to be more desirable. And if you dress well, oh, mama, now we're talking. Exactly. This is like a secret weapon and something that you guys got to understand. If you want to be instantly viewed as more desirable as a dude, pay attention to your style. You don't need to be the best dressed guy in every room. You don't need to be the most like fashion forward, but dress with style, with purpose, with intention. Make sure that your clothing is clean. Make sure that your clothing fits your body, because that's the thing that so many guys fuck up. They think, oh, I'm just gonna wear this. I'm gonna wear something that's comfortable. The clothing is too big, it's too baggy, it's too boxy, and it is not highlighting your physique. That's one of the beautiful things about style, right? You can minimize your perceived negatives by understanding how clothing fits your body, by understanding the psychology of colors and what it does to you visually. It's a quick, easy way for you to instantly look taller, more muscular, not to mention sexy. And every spicy senorita wants to date a dude who is dressed well, because think about it like this. What do you think a woman's most important accessory is? Is it a nice handbag? No, it's the dude whose arm she's holding on to when she enters the room, when she walks into a party. If she is looking all spicy, sexy, sassy, and you are looking like a homeless slob, does it raise her image? No, it makes her look worse. So what she wants is you to dress well, dress respectably, and do not let her pick out your clothing. One of the biggest things that keeps you looking average is letting some woman pick out your clothing. It's not that she doesn't have good taste, she picked you, obviously, but she doesn't understand how you should dress. Your style, your scent, your balls, your responsibility. Did I mention workout? Like, be in good shape. If you have body fat under like 15%, you're more desirable than the dude that's got like man boobs and love handles. Just throwing it out there. Workout, it's one of the things you can do that will instantly make you a more desirable person. Next few things I want to talk about actually are the intangibles. These are things that really matter more a lot of times than your physical appearance, all right? Number one is ambition. If you're ambitious, super sexy. If you've got goals, also very sexy. If you are successful financially, like next level desirable. If you've got means, or if you've been able to string a few things together in order to basically build yourself up in your career or your business or just your income level, this makes you more desirable than the dude that's making $20,000 a year. If you own a home, or if you have a nice place or a nice apartment, this makes you more desirable. If your place is clean, if you are a clean individual, more desirable. If you drive a car, more desirable than somebody that doesn't have any mode of transportation. The nicer the car, the more desirable. But there reaches a point at which the flash becomes actually a bit of a turnoff. All right, the dudes that are driving like Lambos and stuff like that, it's not something that is making them like wildly more attractive than the dude that's driving like a Mercedes or a BMW, right? You've just got to basically understand that sometimes less is more when it comes to desirability, because if you are somebody that boasts or show off, this is something that is making you less desirable, all right? It's about not being arrogant. It's about confidence without arrogance. If you're a confident individual, also super desirable, because nobody wants to be with a pussy. Nobody wants to be with a dude that's like begging or weak or a dude. She wants to be with a dude, a man, and not a little boy. If you are mature, if you're educated, if you're intelligent, if you're a thinker, This is also something that's making you highly desirable. If you have a good personality, crazy sexy. If you're somebody that has good manners, if you have emotional intelligence, if you're somebody that can communicate eloquently or make conversation easily, also super interesting, attractive, crazy sexy. High standards, high self-esteem, high self-worth, good moral compass. All of these things make you more desirable than the train wrecks that I'm seeing out there on social media. Good dude. If you are a good dude, like truly good, not like a simp, not like a nice guy that's doing good or trying to give in order to get, no. Somebody that is truly pure in their intentions and their kindness is also something that is super desirable. And the last thing is you help other people. If you are somebody that humbly helps others just to basically do good for the world or to help other people in their time of need, also super desirable and attractive. I told you, gentlemen, you are not only an amazing dude, you're much more attractive and desirable than you probably realized.